Hello, welcome. This story is for English listening practice. The story is calm. The words are simple. The sentences are short. You can listen and relax. You do not need to translate. You do not need to stop the video. Just listen. Let the English come to you. This story is for beginners. It is slow. It is clear. It is easy to understand. You can listen at night. You can listen in the morning. You can listen many times. Today, I will tell you a simple story. It is about a woman named Emma. It is also about a man named Mike. The story is gentle. The story is human. Now, let us begin. Emma lived in a small town. The town was quiet. The streets were clean. The people walked slowly. Emma liked quiet places. Emma lived alone. She lived in a small apartment. The apartment was not new, but it was warm. It was safe. Every morning Emma woke up early. She opened her eyes slowly. She sat on her bed. She took a deep breath. She started her day. Emma washed her face. She brushed her hair. She looked at herself in the mirror. She saw a calm face, but she felt tired inside. Emma worked in a bakery. The bakery was small. It smelled like bread. It was warm inside. People came every day. Emma arrived at work early. She put on her apron. She cleaned the tables. She prepared the bread. She smiled at customers. People said hello to Emma. Emma said hello back. She was polite. She was kind. But she did not talk much. Emma did the same things every day. She worked. She cleaned. She smiled. She waited for the day to end. When the bakery closed, Emma felt tired. Her feet hurt. Her hands felt heavy. Her head felt full. Emma walked home alone. She walked the same street. She passed the same houses. She saw the same lights. At home, Emma made simple food. She ate alone. She sat in silence. She listened to the sounds outside. Emma did not feel sad all the time. She did not cry every day. But she felt empty. She felt something was missing. At night, Emma sat by the window. She looked at the street. She saw cars pass. She saw people walk. Emma held a warm cup of tea. The tea was soft and warm. It helped her relax. Emma thought about her life. She thought about her days. She thought about her routine. She asked herself a simple question. Is this my life forever? Emma did not want a big change. She did not want a loud life. She did not want chaos. She wanted something calm, something new, something simple. That night, Emma made a small decision. She said it in a soft voice. She said, I want to change. She did not know how. She did not know when. But she knew one thing. She wanted to feel alive again. She wanted to feel calm happiness. The next morning, Emma woke up. She felt the same tired feeling, but now she also felt hope. She went to work again. She cleaned tables. She served bread. She smiled. But inside her mind, something was different. She was thinking about change. She was thinking about new things. After work, Emma did not go home. She walked a different way. She walked to a small park. The park was quiet. There were trees. There were benches. There were birds. Emma sat on a bench. She listened to the wind. She felt calm. In that moment, Emma felt ready, ready for something new, ready to take a small step. She stood up slowly. She walked home. She felt peaceful. This is the beginning of Emma's story. Emma went home that evening. She opened the door slowly. She turned on a small light. The room felt quiet and safe. She put her bag on the chair. She took off her shoes. She walked to the kitchen. Emma filled the kettle with water. She turned it on. She waited. While she waited, she looked around. The kitchen was small, but it was clean. It was simple. Emma made tea. She held the warm cup. She felt the heat in her hands. She sat at the table. She took a slow sip. She closed her eyes for a moment. Her day felt long, her body felt tired, but her mind felt open. Emma remembered the park. She remembered the quiet bench. She remembered the calm feeling. She asked herself another question. What can I do next? Emma did not want pressure. She did not want stress. She wanted an easy step. She took her phone. She unlocked it. She opened the screen slowly. Emma searched for activities nearby. She looked for simple things. She looked for calm places. She saw many options. Big classes, loud places, fast people. Emma did not like those. She kept scrolling. She kept looking. Then she saw something small, a community center, close to her home. The center had classes, simple classes, slow classes. Emma read the list. Art class, yoga class, cooking class. Emma stopped at cooking class. She liked cooking. She liked warm food. She liked quiet work. The class was for beginners. It was once a week. It was not expensive. Emma felt nervous. Her heart beat faster. Her hands felt cold. She put the phone down. She stood up. She walked around the room. She said to herself, I can try. Emma sat down again. She picked up her phone. She signed up for the class. When she finished, she froze. She looked at the screen. She smiled a little. She said, I did it. That night, Emma slept better. Her dreams were calm. Her body felt relaxed. The next days passed slowly. Emma worked at the bakery. She followed her routine. But now something was different. She had a plan. She had a date. On Saturday morning, Emma woke up early. She felt nervous again. But she also felt curious. She took a shower. She got dressed. She chose simple clothes. She looked at herself in the mirror. She took a breath. She said, it is okay. Emma left her apartment. She locked the door. She walked to the community center. Her steps were slow. Her heart was fast. She arrived at the building. It looked old, but it looked friendly. Emma stood outside for a moment. She thought about going back home. Then she remembered the park. She remembered her promise. Emma opened the door. She walked inside. Inside the building, Emma saw a small room. The room was bright. The room was clean. There were tables in the room. There were chairs around the tables. There were bowls and spoons. Some people were already there. They talked softly. They moved slowly. Emma stood near the door. She did not move. She felt shy. Her hands were close to her body. Her shoulders were tight. Her breath was short. She looked at the floor. She listened to the voices. Then she heard a calm voice, a friendly voice. Hello. Emma looked up. She saw a man. He was tall. He looked kind. He smiled in a soft way. He did not speak fast. He said, are you here for the cooking class? Emma nodded. She said yes. The man smiled again. He said, my name is Mike. Emma said, my name is Emma. Mike said, nice to meet you, Emma. Emma felt a little warm. She said, nice to meet you too. Mike pointed to a table. He said, you can stand here. Emma walked to the table. Mike walked with her. They stood side by side. They did not talk for a moment. The teacher came in. She smiled. She clapped her hands softly. She said, welcome everyone. Her voice was slow. Her voice was clear. She said, today, we will make a simple soup. Emma felt calm. Soup was easy. Soup was safe. The teacher explained the steps. She spoke slowly. She showed each step. Emma listened. She watched. She followed. Mike picked up a carrot. Emma picked up a knife. They worked quietly. They washed vegetables. They cut vegetables. The sound was soft. The room felt warm. After some time, Mike spoke again. He said, do you like cooking? Emma nodded. She said, yes. I like simple food. Mike smiled. He said, me too. They worked more. They added water. They added salt. The soup started to cook. The smell filled the room. Emma felt relaxed. Her shoulders dropped. Her breath slowed. She felt present. She felt here. The teacher walked around. She watched the class. She smiled at Emma and Mike. She said, "Good job." Emma felt proud. It was a small feeling, but it felt good. When the soup was ready, everyone tasted it. Emma took a small spoon. She tasted the soup. It was warm. It was good. Mike tasted it too. He smiled. After class, people cleaned the tables. Emma washed bowls. Mike dried them. They worked together. They moved slowly. When they finished, Mike looked at Emma. He said, "Do you want to walk outside?" Emma felt nervous again, but she also felt safe. She said yes. They walked outside. Outside, the air felt cool. The sun was soft. The street was quiet. Emma and Mike walked slowly. They did not rush. They did not speak fast. They stopped near a small garden. There were flowers. There were trees. They stood in silence for a moment. The silence felt calm. It did not feel strange. Mike spoke first. He said, "I am happy I came today." Emma nodded. She said, "Me too." Mike looked at Emma. He asked, "Was it hard for you to come?" Emma thought for a second. Then she said, "Yes. I felt nervous." Mike smiled softly. He said, "I felt nervous too." Emma looked surprised. She said, "Really?" Mike nodded. He said, "Yes. New places are hard for me." Emma felt understood. She felt less alone. They walked again. Their steps were slow. Emma said, "I wanted a change." Mike looked at her. He listened. She continued, "My life felt the same every day." Mike said, "I understand that feeling." Emma felt safe to talk. She spoke more. She said, "I wanted something calm, not big." Mike nodded. He said, "Small changes are good." They reached the corner of the street. Cars passed slowly. Mike stopped walking. He looked at Emma. He said, "There is another class next week." Emma nodded. She said yes. Mike asked, "Will you come again?" Emma felt her heart beat faster, but it felt nice. She said, "Yes, I will come." Mike smiled. He said, "I will come too." They stood for a moment. Neither moved. Then Emma said, "I should go home." Mike nodded. He said, "Me too." They walked in different directions. Emma looked back once. Mike waved. Emma waved back. Emma walked home. Her body felt tired, but her heart felt light. At home, Emma made dinner. She made something simple. She ate slowly. She thought about the class. She thought about Mike. She felt a quiet happiness. It was small, but it was real. That night, Emma slept well. The next week, Emma worked again. She cleaned tables. She served bread. But now, she felt different. She waited for Saturday. On Saturday, Emma returned to the community center. She walked inside with less fear. She saw Mike. He was already there. He smiled when he saw her. She smiled back. They stood at the same table. The teacher started the class. She said, "Today we will make bread." Emma smiled. She worked in a bakery. She felt confident. She helped Mike. She showed him how to mix. She showed him how to wait. Mike listened. He thanked her. Emma felt useful. Emma felt seen. After class, Mike spoke. He said, "Do you want to get tea?" Emma paused. She thought. Then she said yes. They walked to a small cafe near the center. The cafe was quiet. The light was soft. The place felt calm. They sat at a small table. They put their bags down. They ordered tea. Emma held her cup with both hands. The cup was warm. It felt good. Mike sat across from her. He looked relaxed. He smiled softly. They drank tea slowly. They did not rush. Mike spoke first. He said, I like this place. Emma nodded. She said yes, it is calm. They sat in silence for a moment. The silence felt safe. Mike asked, "Why did you choose the cooking class?" Emma took a breath. She spoke slowly. She said, "I wanted something new." Mike listened. He did not interrupt. Emma continued, "My days felt the same." Mike nodded. He said, "I felt that too." Emma looked at him. She felt understood. She asked, "Why did you come?" Mike looked at his cup. Then he looked up. He said, "I felt alone." Emma's eyes softened. She said, "Me too." Mike smiled gently. He said, "I am glad we met." Emma smiled back. They finished their tea. They stood up. They walked outside. The sky was light blue. The air was fresh. They stopped near the door. Mike said, "Can I see you again?" Emma felt nervous, but she also felt happy. She said yes. Mike smiled. He said good. They shared numbers. They said goodbye. Emma walked home. Her steps felt light. At home, Emma sat by the window. She held another cup of tea. She thought about the day. She thought about Mike. She felt calm hope. The next days passed. Emma worked. She rested. Mike sent messages. Short messages. Simple messages. "Hi Emma. How was your day?" Emma replied. "It was okay. How was yours?" They met again. They walked in the park. They talked slowly. Emma felt safe with Mike. She felt seen. But one day at work, a customer was rude. He spoke loudly. He complained. Emma felt small. Her chest felt tight. She finished her work. She went home tired. At home she sat alone. The old empty feeling returned. She looked at her phone. She saw a message from Mike. "Are you okay?" Emma thought. Then she was honest. She wrote, "I had a hard day." Mike replied quickly, "I am here." Emma felt relief. They met in the park that night. The air was cool. Emma spoke slowly. She said, "I felt small today." Mike listened. He said, "That is hard." Emma felt tears, but she felt safe. Mike said, "You are not alone." Emma believed him. They sat together. They stayed quiet. Emma felt stronger, not big strength, quiet strength. They stayed on the bench for a while. The park was quiet. The night was calm. Emma looked at the ground. She spoke again. She said, "I want to change more." Mike listened. He waited. Emma continued, "I want a different job." Mike nodded. He asked, "What kind of job?" Emma thought for a moment. She said, "A calm place." She added, "Maybe a small cafe." Mike smiled. He said, "That sounds good." Emma said, "But I am afraid." Mike nodded again. He said, "That is normal." Emma looked at him. She felt heard. Mike said, "We can make a small plan." Emma asked, "A plan?" Mike said, "Yes. Simple steps." Emma felt hope. She said, "Okay." They talked about the plan. Step 1 was easy. Emma would write a list. A list of calm places. A list of small places. Step 2 was simple. Emma would visit one place only to look. Step 3 was clear. Emma would apply to one job, only one. Emma liked the plan. It felt safe. The next day, Emma wrote her list. She wrote slowly. She felt nervous, but she finished the list. She smiled. After work, Emma visited a small cafe. The cafe was quiet. The music was soft. A woman smiled at Emma. She asked, "Can I help you?" Emma spoke softly. She said, "I am looking for a job." The woman nodded. She said, "Please leave your name." Emma wrote her name. Her hand shook, but she did it. That night, Emma told Mike. She said, "I visited a cafe." Mike said, "I am proud of you." Emma felt warm. Days passed. Emma waited. Then one afternoon her phone rang. The cafe called. They offered her the job. Emma froze. She smiled. She said yes. She called Mike. She said, I got the job. Mike laughed softly. He said, that is wonderful. Emma felt proud. She felt calm joy. She left the bakery job. She thanked everyone. Her first day at the cafe was slow. She learned the routine. She felt calm. That evening, Emma met Mike. They drank tea. Emma said, I feel different. Mike smiled. He said, you did this. Emma nodded. Emma and Mike sat together at the cafe. The light was soft. The place was quiet. Emma held her cup. She looked at Mike. She said, thank you for staying with me. Mike smiled. He said, thank you for trusting me. They did not say much more. They did not need many words. Days passed. Emma worked at the cafe. She learned more each day. She greeted people. She served drinks. She cleaned tables. She felt calm at work. She felt right. After work, she often met Mike. Sometimes they walked. Sometimes they drank tea. They talked about simple things, their days, their thoughts. They did not rush. They went slow. One evening, Emma sat by her window again. She held a warm cup of tea. She looked at the street. She saw people walk by. She remembered the first night. The night she felt empty. Now she felt full. Not loud, not fast, but calm. Emma smiled softly. She knew life was still simple, but it was her life. She had change. She had calm. She had connection. She felt thankful. This story ends here. Thank you for listening. You can listen again. Listening again helps your English. If you liked this story, please subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Tell us how you felt. See you in the next calm story.